Yeah, hi, thanks for calling. This is Steve. How can I help you? No, sir. It is the order which you had placed. That is for what? This charge has been made to you. You didn't order it. But sir, you know that it comes from your account. So it might possible that someone else or you might have done, but you don't remember. No problem, sir. We have an option that we can cancel that order, but for that you need to be in front of your any device like computer or laptop. Then only we can help you out to like cancel that order.
The scammer you just watched, picking up that call, is happy to be back after a 3-week break without any calls. The break he and his 17 colleagues took was not voluntarily, it was because I shut down their phone system, which you guys may have already seen in the video on screen right now. This video was, in my opinion, one of the best videos I've made so far, and to understand what I'm going to show you guys today, I definitely recommend watching that one first. I promised in that video that if the scammers ever came back from that knockdown, I would happily shut them down again, and that I wouldn't give them any time or space to scam more gullible people like the elderly or people with a mental disability. Just to give you guys an idea of how long the scammers had been out for because of the destruction I did to their phone system, I put a screenshot of the logs that I had on the scammer on the screen right now. You can see that the first log I have on this particular scammer was from the 18th of November, which was the date that I got the reverse connection on this computer. The latest date I have on these logs is the 1st of December of this year, 2020, and the log after that is from 18 days later on the 19th of December, meaning that these scammers were out for 18 days. But now that the scammers are back, me and my friend XP thought it would be a good idea to try and social engineer our way into more machines in the call center, and because they had been out for so long, it would make it easier for us to reverse the connection on them while their brains were still dusty. And reversing the connection is exactly what happened, and that is what you're seeing on the screen right now, is that we now instead of one have 4 connections in this call center, so that means that we have 3 new machines to show you guys. Okay, so let's start off with USR1. These are all of the files that I found on this computer that are interesting. All of the text files are information on victims except for the jack.txt file. So this is just an example of what was in these files. This is kind of what it looked like. So numbers and then what state they were from, and sometimes their name, and also sometimes their credit card information if they scammed them successfully, or an email or an address, whatever. In total, these files all included 30 full names of victims, 69 phone numbers, 2 AnyDesk IDs, 5 emails, 3 addresses, 2 credit card informations, including CVV, expiration date, etc., and 19 awesome ID and passwords, which is the remote access tool they use primarily. Then the jack.txt is a link to a web page that is also another remote access program they can access victims' computers with. It looks like it's from Amazon, but they don't really use this web page. And then there was 2 pictures also on this computer, as you can see. And these 2 pictures are screenshots from a victim's computer after she got scammed by these guys. The first picture is the one that you are seeing on the screen right now, which is a receipt for a payment that the victim made towards the scammers. Of course, I'll be blurring all the sensitive information to protect the identity of the victim, but what we can see from this receipt is the name of the victim, that this payment was made on November 27th of 2020. We can see her address and that she's from Los Angeles. We can see her phone number. We can see that she paid from a Live Green checking account, and that the person that she sent the money to is a so-called Jordan Smith, and the payment location is of course in India, and the payment is a total of $909.20. And then here's another screenshot that the scammer had that shows that the victim successfully made a transfer from her banking page. And then there's also a folder called Kenneth Fowler, and this folder includes 8 scanned copies of a bunch of gift cards. They are all Visa gift cards from Target. I checked upon the information of the scanning, and all these pictures come from the same date, so this is all from one victim. There's 19 gift cards in total that are all $100, meaning that the scammers scammed this person for $1,900. Okay, then the files of USR7. This guy mostly had TXT files with information on victims again, and all of these files included 4 full names, 51 51 phone numbers, 1 email, 2 AnyDesk IDs, 4 credit card information files, and 13 awesome ID and passwords. And then there's also Book 1 XLSX, which is a spreadsheet file, and a screenshot of the first bar of the table is showing on the screen right now, and as you can see, it includes phone numbers of victims, their alternative phone number, their first name, their last name, their address, city, state, and zip, then the country, which for every single one was US, and their email, then the customer status, so if their service is expired or if they're still active, then the value of the plan, so how much the victim paid. So it's some kind of scam where they have a plan, which is probably the tech support scam where they offer some kind of security service that is fake. So this is also a different scam from in the past because they don't run that scam anymore. Then the plan duration, the name of the plan, and then the sales status and the payment method. And I'll just be scrolling down the list. Of course it's going to be blurred because it's full of sensitive information, but in total there's 51 victims. And if we count all the money that is in the row of the plan value, we get to a whopping amount of $9,146 that they scammed these people for. And then USR8 also had a lot of information on victims. His files included 4 full names, 26 phone numbers, 2 emails, 1 TeamViewer ID and password, 1 address, and 16 awesome ID and passwords. And he also had one of these XLSX files. This one was a different one. This time it showed us the victim's phone number, their first and last name, their address, the status of the payment, and their city, the state, the zip code, and then their age and the date of the sale. And this list included 163 victims. Now that we got that out the way, let's move on to the scam itself. As you might have heard from the intro, these guys are running the Amazon scam. They send out emails to people about an order of an iPad, which that person can cancel if they call the scammers their number. And let's see what happens when somebody actually falls for the scam and calls the number that the scammers give to them in the email.
And there is any options called occasion on the middle of the page, accept cookies. See any option? Click on OK.
So first the scammer connects to the victim's computer using AWE-SUN, which I already told you guys about is the remote access program they primarily use. That part of the scam isn't really interesting since all the scammers connect to the victim's computer. But let's see what happens when the scammer actually gets remote access to the victim's computer.
Just hold on, sir. Just hold on.
Here the scammer telling the victim to hold on. Now the scammer gives his headset to the higher up that has a lot of experience in doing all of the payment stuff, and he takes over the call from now.
Not a problem. What you do, sir, close everything now, and I told you to make a note of that. Have you make a note of it? That ID and the password?
The scammer then takes the victim to Amazon, to the refund page, to make it seem like he's actually calling from Amazon, and then he has a very interesting method that I've never seen before, but is actually pretty smart.
Now just beside that, on the right hand side, on the very first options, can you see refunds? Click on that, refunds. Click on that, sir, refunds. Now the moment you click on refunds, sir, very soon you're going to see a cancellations form come up on your screen. If you see the refund form come up on your screen, sir, please let me know. Okay, I'm in a hold for you once you see the refund form come up, because it takes sometimes, sir, it's take little bit of time. If you see any kind of a refund form come up after clicking on that, so just do let me know, sir. Okay.
So the scammer takes the victim to the actual Amazon page, to the refund section. Then he blanks out the victim's screen, and then he goes away from the Amazon page and copy pastes his refund form into the victim's computer without the victim being able to see this because their screen is blanked out. And that way the scammers can make the victim believe that it's actually a refund form from Amazon. This particular victim decided to fill out the form, but after the scammer told him to log into his bank, he hung up the call. I called him, told him to uninstall AWE-SUN because otherwise the scammers can still log into his computer, since AWE-SUN has a static ID and password, which means it never changes, and then the scammers will spy on their victims, which I've seen plenty of times before. But I actually did catch the scammers successfully scamming someone after getting them to fill out the refund form and getting them to log into the bank. And this was also the moment I decided to destroy their phone system, which I'm going to show you guys now. But before I destroyed their phone system, of course, I had to change the emails and the passwords again of all the agents and the manager's account. I had to log into the manager's account because USR10 decided to log in with the manager's account and my keylogger clocked the password and username. Having access to the manager's account meant that I also had access to all the emails and the passwords to all of the agents, their accounts. I changed all of those emails and passwords so they would not have access to those accounts anymore. After changing all this information, I decided to log into the scammers their page, because if I log into their account while they are logged in, they get logged out and then they can never log back in again. And that's exactly what I did in the middle of the scammer actually scamming someone. This particular victim filled out the form, and as you can see on the screen, the scammer then inspects the page to make it seem like a message that tells the victim to log into their bank. Now, this victim logged into his bank, the scammer HTML inspected the page, it's what you're seeing on the screen now, and the victim believed the scammer, and this is what the scammer told the victim after he convinced the victim that he needed that money back and that there was actually money from the company in his account.
I just have a word with my manager just to send that money, sir. And if you see that anything's popped up, sir, please let me know, okay? How much is that? 30, 31? 3,000? Sir, Mr. Just give me a second, okay? Please hold on for the moment. Let me check. Let me check. Please let me check. Let me check. Hold on, sir. Please let me check. Don't go anywhere, sir. Just give me a second.
The following thing you're gonna see is actually one of the funniest things I've seen scammers do. This guy pretends to have contact with his billing team and he tells the victim, hold on sir, I'm gonna talk to my billing team. And what the scammer does is he goes into a notepad file and he just starts spamming his keyboard, pretending to be typing heavily, full stress, full panic. And with his worst acting, he keeps on going, convincing the victim that he needs that money back.
Give me a second. Yes, you there? Yeah, I just got a feedback from my billing manager that while we are transferring that money to you, by mistake, sir, we have sent it you 2 times.
Now the scammer makes the victim open a calculator on his computer and he does the math, what the victim has to get him. And then he tells him to get 2 gift cards from Best Buy for $500 because it's somewhere around $1,100. But he tells him, yeah, you can keep that $100 from our company for gas money, whatever. But we just want $1,000 back.
So what you need to do, sir, that will be our company money, which you got an extra. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to take your Capital One credit card with you. And do you have a CVS store? CVS pharmacy. You need to go to that store and you need to buy a 2 Best Buy gift card. So that will be, I'm telling my manager to redeem that card money into the company's account. So that, sir, I can save my job and I can save my bonus for this Christmas. Otherwise, I will be losing my job and I will be throwing out from the business. Okay? So my respect, my honesty is in your hand right now.
At this point I had seen enough and it was time for me to step in. Beforehand I noted down which scammer had which account from the 8x8 work, and so I logged into the account that was linked to this scammer's computer, and once I logged into that account, this is what happened.
Yes, CVS, let me explain you everything. Yeah, Best Buy gift card, or I'm just writing down on your computer screen. Just give me a second. Just hold on a moment. Okay? And what is your planning for this Christmas? Are you there? हेलो अरे लौड़ा ऑटो साइन हो गया ऑटो साइन हो गया अपने आप ऑटो साइन आउट हो गया Only one computer can be signed into your account at a time. But
I could see that the scammer was trying to get contact with the victim again through another machine in the call center, so I decided to be the first one to get in contact with the victim, and beforehand I had already noted down his number, and now I could call him and tell him that he was being scammed.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
Am I speaking to Mr.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Tom, I need you to turn off your computer for me, okay? You're talking to scammers right now. The guys you are talking to are scammers. I need you to turn off your computer as quick as you can.
Turn off my computer. All right.
Okay, so they have your ID and your password written down, so they can connect back at any time and take full control over your computer. So I need you to refresh the password so they don't have the password anymore.
I'm not computer savvy. I don't know what you're talking about.
So at this point I tried to explain to the victim how he could refresh his password or how he could uninstall the program, but as you could hear him say, he's not very tech savvy and he didn't know what to do. So I offered him help through AWE Sun. He gave me the ID and the password and I connected to his computer and uninstalled the program for him. See if that works. Uninstall. And then just click on... Is it asking you yes or no? Then just click on yes, see if I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. And then it's probably gonna tell me, okay, clear data, uninstall now. I think it should be gone now because I disconnected as well and I didn't press any button that said disconnect. So. Alright, well,
Okey-doke.
if anyone ever calls you from Social Security, Amazon, Geek Squad, Microsoft, any big company, or they send you an email, just never call them. And if they call you, just tell them I don't have a computer. And then you should be fine, you will never get scammed.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Happy holidays, have a nice day.
Thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
See ya. After this call I decided to log out all of the agents, and at that point I thought I was done because with my remote access tool I had scanned their LAN connection and I could see that there was only 6 computers in the call center, but it turned out that that LAN scan wasn't very accurate because when I scanned their LAN again from another machine in the call center, it turned out there was a lot more computers in the call center. Since all of the agents got logged out, of course they were complaining to each other and also to the higher ups in the call center. One of the higher ups came into the call center and he decided to give them new accounts from another department or maybe some backup accounts, which was not the smartest thing that he could have done, especially not logging in with the manager account again while my keylogger was still running on the computers. So now I had access to another manager account from a different department or from backup accounts. I don't know what this was, but I didn't really care about what it was. All I cared about was that I had to shut it down as quick as possible so that they couldn't scam anyone anymore. And that is exactly what I did. I won't bore you with the footage again because I already showed you guys kind of what I did, so changing the emails and all of the passwords. And after I did this, the scammers gave up, and I'll just play a quick clip of the scammers packing their bags, everyone putting their jackets on, and 10 minutes after I shut down the second department, they all left and all shut down all of the computers.
Oh ये ब्लॉक हो गया है हाँ नहीं your account was signed from a different computer.
And of course, like in the last video, I also wanted to change all of the voicemails for the personal numbers and for the main line. And this is exactly what I did, and I'll play one of the voicemails that is connected to the numbers. The number you've called belongs to scammers in India. Please disconnect the line and never call back again. There is no big companies that will send you voicemails. It is always a scam. Please be aware of this in the future. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye. Alright, so that's it. The scammers are shut down again and they won't be able to scam unless they set up their phone system again. but then they will come back and I will still have connections to 4 computers in the call center and I will do the same thing. I don't know if I will make another video on these guys since I've already uploaded like 3 videos on them and then it will just get boring. But I'll definitely shut them down when they come back, if they come back, because right now this call center isn't really profitable. I think the guy that owns this call center isn't very happy because he still has to pay the bills and all that kind of stuff and he has no income. And I hope that the people that work in this call center also see like, hey, this is my job and I don't have any work for 6 weeks now. Maybe I should get a real job. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe. Let's try to hit 3,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Also make sure you like. Let's try and see if we can hit 1,000 likes. I don't think I reached that number of likes before. And also don't forget to leave a comment for the algorithm so we can grow the channel. And I hope you guys have happy holidays. Have a nice day. See you in the next one.